How's everyone doing? It's time for Historathon 2026. So thought I would do my pile of possibilities video just to get a sense of what my options are for the next year as far as history reading goes. And it looks like I'm a little tilted. I got a little bit more ancient and a little bit more modern than I do for the quarters, the 2 quarters in between. But we can fill that in over the course of the year. So I'm just going to fire right into this. And I'm going to start with Plato and the Tyrant. This is a book I've mentioned already. It's about the fall of Greece's greatest dynasty and the making of a philosophical masterpiece. Have already started reading this one as part of a buddy read, and just into the sort of introduction, preface. It's looking good so far. Can't complain. So that's, I guess I was starting a little early on this one, but yeah, Plato and the Tyrant. It's the first book on my list for 2026 to complete anyway. The second book that I'm going to be reading is in this first quarter is Persian Fire by Tom Holland. It's the second book that I've bought that was authored by Tom Holland, and looking forward to reading this one because I did like Millennium. I don't know much about Persia, so I think this will be a good read for 2026 and expand my horizons somewhat. And then the third book that I already own that I'm reading for first quarter of Historathon 2026 is Nero, Matricide, Music and Murder in Imperial Rome. And it's by Anthony Everett and Rodney Ashworth. I think most of you have seen this one or know this one. So this is a book that's, I think it's pretty popular and a lot of people have read and reviewed, but I haven't read it. So I'm looking forward to getting deeper into Nero as much as you can. So I think that's going to be a fun read. Nero is like a personality for sure. And anyone that loves Roman history probably has spent some time on Nero, and I'm looking forward to doing the same. So that was my first quarter, and that first quarter is basically prehistory to 500 CE, and it's the first 3 months of the year. With Historathon, the second quarter is basically the months of April to June, and that covers the years 500 to 1500 AD. And I have 2 books that I'm going to read during that for that time period that I have teed up anyway. Probably read more. But the first one is The Crusades by Thomas Asbridge. It's the authoritative history of the war for the Holy Land. So I have read some Crusade stuff. I'm looking forward to this one. This looks good. It's a classic. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's going to be hard to wait actually until April or April, May, June to read this one because I sort of had planned on reading it a little quicker, but I'm going to try to stick to my Historathon reading program and do things right. So Crusades by Thomas Asbridge looks like a good one. And then the other one I'm going to read, I don't, this doesn't necessarily fit nicely into the 500 to 1500, but I think it's a good time as any to read Poland by Adam Zamoyski. I don't know that much about Polish history. This book looks good. I've seen it around a lot, and so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I think it'll fit nicely into 500 to 1500. Obviously, Poland has a modern history as well that's post 1500, but I got to fit it in somewhere, and it's hard to do that with a general history. So given the paucity of books I have for 500 to 1500 at this point, I just think that it works, and that's what I'm gonna stick to. You can quibble with me in the comments if you want, but that's where we're gonna end up. And then the next quarter, third quarter, is July, September, and it covers the years 1500 to 1820. And I have one book only lined up at this point. I'll have to figure something out. But it's George Washington. George Washington, The Political Rise of America's Founding Father by David Stewart. Yeah, it's kind of the American Revolution, founding father of the United States. Haven't read it yet. I've had this one sitting on my shelf for a little while, so I think it's a good chance to read that one. The American Revolution, the founding of the United States, is one of the sort of the great historical events in modern history. and I'm looking forward to reading that one because I do think the American Revolution is deeply interesting, and I like reading about it. So whether that's the war or the War of Independence or the politics or the philosophical aspects of founding the country, it's all very interesting. So good book, I think, or I hope. If anybody's read any of these or has any comments, I'd appreciate hearing, because it's just nice to know what other people have thought about these books, and what I'm getting into, or should I be looking for something else, that kind of thing. So yeah, George Washington. I'm looking forward to it, but that's the only book I have for that quarter right now. So we'll see what happens by July, September. I'm sure I'll have other stuff lined up that I can sort of look at putting in for that time period. And then moving on to the last quarter of Historathon 2026, October to December, which covers the years we're supposed to be reading in the years of 1820 to present. I've got a lot of books and a lot of books lined up for that period. And some of these I just got for Christmas, including two books by James Holland, who I've never read. I've read Tom, but not Brother James. And one is The Savage Storm, The Battle for Italy, 1943. Looking forward to reading that one. Canada was involved in the campaigns in Italy, so I'm not sure if it's covered in this book, but we'll see. I think it'll be good. I don't have anything on Italy from World War II, so that'll be good for me. And then the second one that I got was Brothers in Arms, and this follows one tank regiment from D-Day to the end of the war, which I think is a pretty cool way to do history. I like sometimes to do or to read history books that take things a little differently, and so following a single regiment, I think is a pretty cool way to do history, and so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I don't know which one I'll read first, but probably the Italian campaign is probably the one I'm going to read first, just because I know more about the D-Day and then the push into Germany to end the war. So those two books are on the list for quarter four. Then I have, which I mentioned in my last video, I have The Age of Ambition, Chasing Fortune, Truth, Faith in the New China by Evan Osnos. See, I don't know if it's really a history book. It's nonfiction, but this is Historathon, so we'll see. Looks like it might be interesting. And then the last two books that I'm going to this is still in an open package. I got this for Christmas as well. This is a two-book package by Eric Larson, and it includes Dead Wake, which is the sinking of the last crossing of the Lusitania, and then the other one is Devil in the White City, which is the murder, magic, and madness at the fair that changed America. So yeah, I see Eric Larson's books around all the time. I've never read one of his books, and I'm looking forward to that. Again, I had sort of plans to read this a lot earlier than September to December 2026. So that's the one problem that I'm going to have with Historathon this year, is holding off on books until I get to the actual quarter that I'm supposed to read them in. Maybe I just need to fill myself up with enough books that the temptation doesn't strike me and I end up reading quicker than I should be. Anyway, that's my Historathon 2026 pile of possibilities. Shout out, I'll tag the sort of owners of the Historathon, if you will, or the hosts, I guess is the proper term, in the video below, and invite you to check out those channels. They provide a lot of information on how to go about Historathon, and how to participate in this fantastic historical event, one of the best events on historical reading on YouTube and the internet. So I'd very much, to the extent that you're into history, read history or nonfiction generally, just participate as much as you can in Historathon. I'm excited to do this for my first year. And it's going to be a great year. There's going to be a ton of books to read, and I think a lot of new stuff, a lot of good stuff is going to come out that I know I'm looking forward to reading. So anyway, I'm starting to waffle on here. So appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. We will see you on the next video, which hopefully is just a few days away from when this one gets released. Take care, and we'll see you very soon.